You name it, we've lived it.
And are living it.
Brits moving from the UK all the way to Australia with not a pot to piss in.
A whirlwind romance sparkled on Tinder.
3 months in, pregnant, starting 2 now successful businesses through COVID.
To another 2 new businesses post-COVID, whilst juggling 2 young, spirited children.
Living worldwide, travelling and pure hustle. We are nothing short of batshit crazy, but motivated as fuck. We are here to tell you our story,
inspire,
teach,
and probably scare the crap out of you.
Uncut, raw and real. Welcome to Business, Babies and Banter
with Henry
and Jade.
Welcome to Business Babies and Banter. I think it's episode 17. I'm Jade.
I'm Henry.
And today we're going to be talking, obviously, I'm a mindset coach. But no, today we thought it would be incredible to talk specifically about business ownership mindset.
Yeah, not just business ownership mindset. It could be like the entrepreneur. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
So it's like someone who kind of works within a company, but is like entrepreneur in terms of working their way up. And so someone that doesn't necessarily have their business, but still is building their own career within a business.
100%. Just mindset in general, to be honest, is like we spoke about it a little bit before in previous podcasts, but fixed and growth mindset. And a growth mindset says you are always a beginner, you're open to everything, you're self-analyzing constantly, you are receptive to constructive criticism, and a fixed mindset says this doesn't apply to me, there's nothing that can be learned from this. This is how I am.
Or resistant to changing the ways that be fixed.
100%. And I think some of the interesting things is if you have a growth mindset, you're always growing. So it's not like there's not a level that you attain. Would you agree?
Mm.
It's not like one day you wake up and you're enlightened and there's no more to learn. The growth mindset says there is always something to learn. We are, from a spiritual perspective, I believe, here to constantly go through death and rebirth of ourselves as individuals and our growth and experience. And we're here to ultimately learn, experience, grow and share.
Yeah.
So tell me, Henry, obviously when we met, you were in construction. You've always had a gig to run a business, but it certainly wasn't necessarily on your immediate radar because you were kind of in between a phase. What mindset attributes do you think that you had already installed from previous experience that you now apply in your business? And then we'll get on to the things that you've learned as you've ever lot. But what did you already have?
So I think before instruction, obviously, I was in sales and that's how I got sponsored. And I think sales is the best type of job discipline that you can do for mindset because it's incredibly challenging. It teaches you fortitude. It teaches you to be resilient. You have to go through a huge amount of rejection and failure to get success. And I think, we had a thing called law of averages, and it's the same for all sales roles. You have to have a certain amount of people that you speak to. You then have to have a certain amount of people that say no. You then have to have a certain amount of meetings to then get a small number of success. And that is transferable and relatable to business more than anything. You work so hard on a business, you trial so many things, you're constantly working, and it's very slow, it's very hard. You don't see things straight away. There's no instant gratification. You have to keep going. You have to have perseverance. So I think that is the biggest thing that I took from previous experiences into this, which is why it's like I'm very relentless.
Do you know one thing that I'd say as well, which is beyond sales, is just your arguably it's one of your parents perhaps, but work ethic. I think the mindset of nothing is given to you, the world doesn't owe you anything, because we meet so many people, people that we have employed in the past or interactions in life, and there's this victim mindset of the world owes me something or poor me. It's not.
I think it's really interesting is there's some people that are academically super intelligent or they know about tech and therefore they can create a product or a company because they've got a really insane skill. If you, which is many, didn't have something like that, all you really actually have to fall back on that, if that works, is work ethic, and you're working harder than the next person, working harder than your competitor, working harder than what you used to do, and you can achieve great success through sheer determination and hard work.
Do you know what I saw in hilarious? Sorry, this is really relevant to your state. It was like, no, it was kind of like the meme, and it was a guy wearing a t-shirt. It was on one of those mindset carousels on Instagram, and it said, not particularly good at anything, but I work really hard. Or we're not particularly good at anything, but we're really determined. And I was like, do you know what though? There are people, and I say this to all my coaching clients, there are people less qualified than you doing things that you wish to do just because they fucking put themselves.
And then what? This is the growth mindset. The growth mindset comes in. You may start not knowing anything, but just through effort and work and time,
And have you learned having a growth mindset?
you then learn those things. Yeah. And now I probably learn and experience more the person who's probably far more academically brighter, been to uni, has got insane skills and intelligence in a certain area, because I've just done the hours and the time and the experience.
Which had the growth mindset incorporated.
Correct.
Because there are people as well that work extremely hard, but they're constantly moaning. Or they're like, oh God, if I really, they're not growing really because they're working hard, but they're doing the bare minimum of what's expected. And they're constantly like, the world owes me something. I've loved a promotion, but are you doing more to prove that you're worth more? Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's also not a growth mindset. Like, if you're not open and receptive to learning, doesn't matter if you work hard, you actually have to have that mindset on the journey.
What do you think about this? So something that I suffer from is, I don't know how to phrase this with a particular word, but even though things may be far better than I was doing before, I'm always like, fuck, we're so far behind. But you don't have that as much as me. So would you say that that's, because I would say that, someone who isn't ever satisfied or always like, oh my God, we need to do more, needs to do more. What's your thoughts on someone with that type of mindset? Would you say that's a mixture of both?
I would say it's not a growth mindset. It's actually just a mindset in general thing and a perspective of how you see life. Ultimately, life is the lens that you see it through. So you could have all the money in the world, this amazing life, but there might be certain needs or feelings or that are there, or traumas that haven't been addressed, and you see it as a really sad, indignified way to live. And so it's not about growth mindset. That in that case is, I by default choose to see, not even choose, I just innately see the positive in things, which also is a curse, which we'll get into in a minute. But I'm happy go jolly. I'm like, we can do this. This is possible. I see the best in people. I see the best in situations. I see the best in myself. Like that is my default mindset, which is fantastic. However, I have had to learn through experience and through ensuring I have a growth mindset as to where that hasn't served me before. And it hasn't served me, sometimes, especially when you're a business owner, giving people too many chances, being too nice, even in personal relationships, friendships, that doesn't always serve you. You might be, it's all good to be happy, go jolly and positive, but sometimes things need to be addressed. And there are certain ways that you have to respond to things and boundaries you have to uphold. And so in your turn, your lesson has almost been the inverse of mine. That's why we work well together. Because I naturally will be very positive and you will bring me back down to the ground and you'll see the logistic, pragmatic side of things. But what we have together is I'm able to lift you up and you're able to bring me down. So we'd be in a really sweet spot where we excel exceptionally well and we go for these crazy fucking things, but we have a bit of a strategy and structure behind it. Would you agree?
A realistic expectation.
But you have got, I'd say you're not, when I first met Henry, he was a lot more negative. I think just two letter brains, like anything that's beyond the scope of reality was not possible. But for me, you create your reality. But yeah, I would say that's not a growth mindset. I think it's just your natural default being very less brained and pragmatic, and mine is so creative. The imagination you know?
Yep.
And it's about how we harness that. And that's through a growth mindset. How are we self-analyzing ourselves?
Mm.
So another attribute that I think...
So hold on, let's just touch on that.
Yeah, go on.
Self-analysis. Obviously, that I do things which help with enhancing growth mindset and nurturing it. What do you reckon they are? What do you reckon people can do, you can do, we can do, everyone can do to analyze and nurture your growth mindset?
Self-analyzing, consistent.
In it, I get it. How? Let's
Okay. So when something doesn't go in your favor, it could be personal, professional. You know, you had an ideal outcome in mind, which was the best outcome on paper, but did work out. Rather than being like, oh, it's so and so's fault, or oh, there's an excuse. What could I have done differently? And at the very best, if there's nothing that I could have done differently, what can I learn from this?
Yeah. I don't do it every day as I should, but there was times where I've been journaling quite a lot, and questions are, what did I do yesterday? What worked well? What didn't work well? What's on for this week? What are my future banks? And actually thinking about things that have happened, and it may be interactions with people, it may be interactions at work, but being able to write down what happened and then actually have that moment to go,
Reflection.
Yeah, is good. So goal setting, but also analyzing and journaling a little bit is a good way of nurturing and harnessing it.
Yeah, 100%. I say to a lot of my coaching clients, and it's not for everyone, right? So I'm not saying everyone should write, because for some people it actually doesn't digest as well. When I'm doing a course or learning or something, I'll write, because I know that scientifically it helps things embed into your mind. But I actually love listening. So when I listen to someone deliver or give information, or I don't know, I contemplate a lot in my mind as well, like I always did as a young child. I really have an empathy and understanding of, why did this person respond like that? Maybe that's because of this. Why did I respond like that at a very deep level? But if journaling, especially for someone that's very pragmatic and left-brained, I think that's a very, physical way to actually express yourself and have those conversations without trying to get strategy behind it. Does that make sense? Because sometimes you are a left-brainer and you're not writing it down, or you're not having that time to reflect. You can almost get in your own head about it and overthink it.
And also then you don't learn the lesson.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, you'll say from a spiritual perspective, things happen for a reason. And if you, what's the phrase? If you make the universe will tell you once, and then it'll tell you again. And if you keep making the same mistakes,
starts with a tap, and then it's a punch, and then it's a slap, and then it's a punch.
And it'll be barbecue. So I think having that opportunity to go, okay, I will always think from business and attitudes, it could be anything. That was a lesson. What was the lesson? Why did that not work? And what am I going to learn and take from it?
Yeah.
And actually then speak it, acknowledge it, say it. Because then when you see those signs again of similar patterns or similar situations arising, and that there is growth mindset, that's how you grow and get experience.
100%. Another thing that I think is just, and I have it and you have it as well, and it's essential for, especially when you're doing business, you have to believe in yourself so much. You have to have so much. It's not even it's a bit confidence, but it's an inner thing. Because confidence, what I think is, it's something that you present to the world, and it is a feeling in yourself. But inner belief, confidence is an outcome of inner belief. Does that make sense? So you can be unconfident as a person, but your inner belief will shine through confidence in the areas to your beliefs. Does that make sense? But an innate knowing, I have always said my entire life, I could do that. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna move to Australia. It's they haven't got any money. What are you gonna do in Australia? I was like, well, I'm a hairdresser, and I just know I can do it. Applied for a job, came here, skipped it, ate fucking 2-minute noodles for 2 days because I literally have $50 for the whole time after paying my hostel, and I got the job. And my employer, I think I told you this story, he basically said to me, I landed, I almost didn't get let in by immigration, which is a whole nother story, because I ticked the fucking box that says there might be being soil on your shoe. Anyway, had a terrible time, land, and he's like, yep, so we just need you to have 2 models for tomorrow. And I'm like, I just assumed that I'd be given models to do a trade test. So in hairdressing, you have to present the work. But my mind was like, I fucking, not for 1 minute, was I like, oh, I'm going to tell them I can't do it. I was like, well, fuck. I put my stuff in the hostel, got on the streets and velvet CED, and I got out asking people, hey, I'm from England, I'm doing a trade test tomorrow, would you like your head over free and Tony Armadale? Didn't even know where fucking Armadale was. But and then ended up getting the train with these 2 bottles from the CBD the next day. That's just what you have to do. But that comes from my innate belief, which you have as well. Like, give us some examples, Head, of where you, even beyond sales. No, you give, I can.
Well, no, I did similar story about plumbing. Yeah.
You just fucking gun. You just go for it. There's no one that could tell you can't do that.
Yeah. You want me to give an example?
Well, no, then you've got that, like, you are, Henry went traveling, didn't have much money. Similar from the story. Obviously, tune into Hex Day 1 to hear about that. But yeah, it's really important. And so, if you don't believe in yourself,
So is that nature or nurture?
I think there are some people that by nature are more inclined to behave like that. But ultimately, you choose your destiny. I didn't have the easiest upbringing, neither did Henry. Not to say we had the worst either. But you can choose to be the victim of your story. Or you can choose to have a growth mindset, to learn, adapt, and fucking survive that shit. And not only survive, thrive. Or you can say, for me, everything is really hard. I don't know if I could do this. The world's against me.
I think it's a bit both. I think primarily you're either born with a fucking dose of grit or you're not.
Yeah, but arguably, when you're literally brought into this earth, you're a child.
Yeah, I know, from a young age. Look at the kids that try and climb and everything and test themselves and put in it. And that's other kids that sit there and don't do fucking.
There is, but you can, everyone has. This is my belief. Everyone has a gift. Everyone, every single person in this world has a gift, right? Even the people that you see that are in very unfortunate situations, behaviours, whatever. They've gone through experiences that put them in a very challenging situation, but they still have a gift. Everyone has a gift, and it's how you harness this. So you don't have to be the most outgoing, loud, wild person. But if you're able to believe in yourself and apply yourself and recognize, this is something I'm innately very good at. This is something that comes naturally to me. And you can pivot your destinies in the direction of thriving in that area, which is passion, purpose, profit, which is what I speak to my clients about all the time. That's ultimately, you say, oh, it's a nature thing. Yes, but everyone's born with a gift. And it's just your choice of how you utilize that. Now, you can have a great childhood, and that obviously hedges your bets a lot better. If you have a very, really nurturing, supported upbringing by your parents, but like we can rock it. But you don't necessarily have to have that to be successful. It's not on the cards, but
yeah. I want to Google it after this.
That's interesting. All right, now, so anyway, tell me about, obviously, what we've been talking about is the innate baseline of attributes to having a great mindset, a growth mindset. But when we're talking about moving into a leadership or a solopreneur or an entrepreneur or even just business owner, what are mindset shifts, disciplines, and habits that you have carried over and enhanced, or that have been completely new moving into this position?
I think we're speaking about this the other day. I think the biggest one is it's not you can't be you're the main focus. It has to be other things that are biggest focus, whether that comes to paying employees, being the lowest paid in the company. Those sorts of things are, a lot of people find out when they start their business though. Not going to be not being paid, it's someone else getting paid, but actually in order to build a business and not be the person that works and does everything, you have to do that.
That's that fate required.
That's exactly what's required. And it is a mindset shift. And some people, it's really, it can play on some people's ego, doesn't it? It can play on some people's mindsets of being like, fuck, this is my baby, this is my business. And I'm paying all these people, I'm not paying myself. But that is parcel of, that's why it's so hard. That's why there's so few people that are successful in it, because that's what has to happen. So I think the biggest challenge for me was giving people the responsibilities and the trust and it still is. It's like
I think he would do everything himself if he could, because he just fucking, he just takes the whole on my own career, he knows he can do it well.
but then it's like finding people who are better than you at it is the most important thing, because as soon as you find someone that's actually better than you at it, that completely goes, because you know that that's new. But at the start, it's impossible to do that. To find really good people, it's not impossible, it's hard. So I think from a mindset perspective, that was quite difficult. That's a big challenge. Would you agree?
Well, what I'm hearing when you say, what I'm hearing is let go, yes, but at the core of what I feel you just said is being humble. Being humbled in that some can be better than you. That's actually what you want. Being humble than that, you're going to have to take the back seat. You're going to have to be last priority. That all comes down to a level of humbleness that you have to find within yourself.
Because it's mindset, ultimately.
Yeah, which being humble is part is the outcome, like you said. You know, the inability to be humble, aka my shit doesn't sink. I'm worthy of more than this. This is what I'm owed. This is what I deserve. It's all very well to be, you know, to feel that you're deserving of certain things and aspire to that. But if you can't get past that and sometimes accept less and sometimes, you know, do the fucking hard yards that maybe feel unfair or unethical or less deserving of you, you can't build a company. You can't build a business. You have to be humble. You have to be ready to get your hands dirty. You have to be ready to...
When you work in a corporate structure, for instance, and you want a promotion, a lot of the times you have to do way more than what your pay packet is giving you before you even make that step up. No one gives the promotion to someone that's just doing what's required. They give it to people that go above and beyond. Obviously, there's exceptions. There's politics and all that bollocks. But generally speaking, you've got to be the one that goes above what you're paid for to get paid more.
And is that 100% true? But can I give you a little, sorry, it was a spiritual spin, because this crossed my mind the other day, but the universe works the same way. So I was thinking to myself the other day, you know,
You would think
that I was fucking thinking, I think a lot, mate. You overthink. I'm not just feeling. No, but, you know, one of my personal aspirations is, you know, to support, like my purpose is to support others, to help others. I'm passionate about seeing people succeed. I'm passionate about communication, interaction. Like I just want to help as many people as I can and build success for me and my family. But in order to have the level of impact that I want to have and be the difference, to make the difference that I want to see, the universe, you know, if I want to be an inspirational leader and do all the things, then I've got to do fucking inspirational shit. So what's the universe going to give me? It's going to say, well, you can't just fucking have it. You're going to have to be put through the ringer. I'm going to present you with a load of challenges, a load of things, because if you want to be extraordinary, then you got to do things that other people are capable of doing. So sometimes it feels really hard, you know. I'll use the pregnancy as an example. Okay, yes, takes two to tango. We've got pregnant, right? But the fact of the matter is, like, there's not many people that could do the things that we've done. That's because we've asked for it. We want to do extraordinary things, so we have to be extraordinary people. And the only way that you can do that is by fucking going through it. Is by going above and beyond, by doing the things that people can't do.
And you've always become accustomed to the level of stress or the level of difficulty that you put yourself in. So you may, for instance, if you put yourself in a position which is at the time feels extremely overwhelming, very hard, you can't cope. When you are in that position for a period of time, it becomes easier and easier and becomes your, and so the more you push yourself into those very unfamiliar, stressful and difficult positions, you adapt, your body adapts to human nature, whether it be physical.
Your mindset, your mind, your body must accept that. And so in the same way as corporate, the universe, if you want to be promoted, you have got to show up consistently with all the challenges that are thrown at you, with all the hardships, with all the fucking complications, and you've got to prove yourself to be promoted to the next level. And that energetically is what I sound like, the ebb and flow.
I think the great thing to take from that, though, from a mindset perspective, you're like growth mindset, is even if you don't actually get the reward of your promotion, your pay rise, whatever it may be, who you become is the reward. And I think the biggest thing is like who you become. Like if you imagine yourself as a video game or a character, like I don't play video games, but you get these saddos that play video games constantly because they want to get their character to be fucking top level with all bells and whistles, right? But they won't put the same amount of fucking effort
It's any other games for
yeah. So, it's like you even if you're gunning for something that has a material or some form of material possession or prize at the end of it, even if that doesn't happen, get it, doesn't materialize, who are you become and how you grow is the real prize.
But the mindset, that's the mindset. So you have the mindset to see that, because otherwise, you can go through all this shit and come out the other end, but all you do is hold on to it and be like, oh, this is terrible and this happened to me. Well, no, you fucking got through it. You survived your darkest day and you're still here. What did you learn? How did it impact your life? How much more can you, like handle and deal with things? Like every single experience we have in life is an opportunity to learn and grow.
Conclusions to the podcast. That was a very, very finale.
Oh, this is the most passionate chat I think we've ever had. Henry's been on it. Maybe I should train him to be a mindset. A big joke. No, to be fair, why are we so good together?
Yin and yang.
But also there are certain attributes that Henry appreciates, that I appreciate, that are not innately in other people, which is why as a couple, as a business partnership, work ethic, mindset, relentlessness, showing up, and they're non-negotiables for us. It's not like one of us ever slacks or is lazy or is like, well, I'm not fucking doing that. We're both just in. We're in, and we have different things that we bring, and we take different personalities, but we're always all in. There's never so. I've never had to say to Hesse, "You're these are so fucking lazy, you're slacking," ever, and vice versa.
Yeah,
he's never ever. We bicker about a lot.
I think that was the thing that I was attracted to the most. That's that.
Not meds there.
You actually got answers since I started training.
I started training you when
even said pancake club, and then we went to the gym all the time.
But I've always gone to the gym. Don't say that. My cats were fucking shredded before we met. I got videos. Anyway, we're going off track. No. Every single. Let's end it on this, guys. Get off your phone, Henry. Distraction.
Make sure you.
Every single experience and challenge that we're presented with in life, good or bad, is an opportunity to grow. So, guys, if you're listening to this, know that we've been through the ringer. We have conversations with people all the time. And I think people assume that it's easy for us. So we've had a conversation, you guys are doing this and you've got this, but fuck.
It gets harder.
We are going through more stressful things, more detrimental things, more risky things, because no risk, no reward, than you could have ever imagined. And we've done what you've done. And we've been there. And we've fucking had no money. We've had no options. We've held our heads to the wall. But it's how you learn, grow, and adapt that defines your destiny and future.
And welcome it. Welcome those hard times. Welcome those lessons. Welcome that difficultness. Because without it, you stay stagnant as a person and an individual.
100%. Tell the universe, bring it the fuck on.
And if you lose, we'll get back up to do it the other day.
100%. Losing is all it is. That's it. It's not.
You either learn or win. You never learn.
No. I was going to say it's how many times you're able to lose, not how many times you're able to win.
Love that. Finish on a back.
Stay tuned for the next episode next week, guys.
Thanks for listening
and hopefully laughing. Be sure to leave us a review, and if you're into the madness,
check out the links below to follow our day-to-day journey.
Stay tuned for the next episode.